for armor on the side of a Cloud9, and it's CLG with 4 Kevlars. Cutler does have a smoke for himself.
Yeah, Slummy's actually going to be the A player right now. There's 4 wards here, and the bomb is also staged up in danger. Nothing already pushed long B, though. Cutler has no idea.
This is going to be a massive position. Cutler has not thrown that smoke yet. He might get caught switching between the pistol and the smoke, but now nothing's starting to back up, and you can actually see he took some damage. I think he might have been spotted. There's nothing with the first kill onto Cutler. That again happening on the B platform. We did look away briefly, and that was to Slemmy, who took some damage at long A and now has fallen back into the site. He's got a support, though, in a player at the van.
You know, the conversion on rounds where you get the first kill is huge. Skadoodle actually gets the second pick and makes it 5v3.
Yeah, so that was Skadoodle at the van coming away with a nice kill, and there's his second as well. Won't let JDM get past the wooden panels. Skadoodle putting some more shots through the board, and it's going to be Hayes that finally goes down. Slemmy to get it, but Skadoodle supporting. He was big on that pistol round.
And we see them being pretty calm right now. I mean, that's really important. It's a marathon, not just a sprint, right? They've got 16 rounds, and they know that they haven't won yet on land. There's a lot to prove here, and we see Cloud9 being very calm, very composed at this moment. A pistol round is great, but it doesn't mean everything. But that being said, 5 alive, a couple of nice headshots, and really no chance as it looked for CLG. I think these are all really good signs for them.
We did have the discussion on the desk, though, about losing a lot of your anti-eco rounds or losing against the Force Spy, and that can definitely be scary on Cobble when you've got the Tech9 and the armor and a place like Drop Room.
Yeah.
So I imagine we will see Cloud9 play passive around Drop instead of going straight in there and trying to take a fight.
You know, we tried to look at what CLG were going to do in that moment. We saw the bomb with 3 people over towards A, so it was clearly going to be a connector split with Drop. But no one even got out anywhere. Like coming onto the site, everyone got shut down really quickly. CLG already looking a little bit distraught. I mean, either way, they don't have much to worry about. And I think I'd be equally nervous about losing the second round if I was Cloud9, because that is just worth so much more once you have the pistol. You know, mentally, it's so tough on you if you drop the pistol or you get the pistol and then you drop the second round to have to recover from that, because you go from such a high to such a low on a round that you were supposed to win, right? It's not just like converting a rifle round. It's converting a round where you had better guns, you had more utility, you had confidence coming out of the pistol round. So that's not one you can lose.
And then actually, going back to the start of that pistol round, we saw Cutler. He was the one player with the smoke for CLG over on the long B platform. What do you think the play was there? Because there were like 3 at long A. Was he going to throw a smoke over into B, try to make a bit of a fake? Or?
I think he was going to smoke the door out, and then they were going to have 2 come out drop and then go out through connector, and he was just going to run back. Yeah. You know, that door smoke could double as a smoke that makes it seem like they're going B. So it's like, you know, it's not a great fake, but it might just add to their presence, the fact that 2 people are coming drop. And it seems like they got through A relatively unnoticed. So I assume that's where the smoke was going. But I didn't see exactly where he was lining up. That's where I throw my door smoke from.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. He was pushed against the double wooden boxes and looking that way, so it should have been the door smoke. But of course, nothing pushed up, took him out, and he was already pushed so far up that then he realizes there's not many other people over here. So the rotations come over to A, and Skadoodle, of course, doing a nice job there with the USP, which is essentially an op on a pistol round, right?
Yeah, it is.
You agree to that?
Supremely accurate. I mean, it's more accurate than I think many rifles at up to a certain distance, and just not more accurate than the op. So I'd have to agree.
I'm not sure what's happened here. I don't know if that's. I doubt they would have taken a tactical after the very first pistol round, so I'm assuming a bit of a problem. But
whoa, Hayes looking stoic right now.
Yeah, everyone looking very, very serious.
Hayes looking tired. He's been going through the playbook all night, watching demos, writing novels.
You wrote any novels, Launders?
All the time, yeah.
The bee-hopping adventures?
Yeah.
I'd read that. All right, here we go now into round number 2. We've got 2 FAMAS out there, Mag 7 MP9 and a UMP. So Cloud9 are all over the place now on this anti-eco round, as they will try to make sure CLG don't get too carried away with, what have they gone for? We got 2 Deagles, actually. CZ and Tech9 P250.
Yeah, it looks like we've opted for head armor. Cutler's also got some utility. And we know Cutler's been a very solid player, but if you have any input on the round, then you're typically also the one to spend the most money when you have a strategy that you want to use. And so Cutler might be taking on the half IGL, half support role, which is okay for him. I think he's like a player who's known to play a little bit more slowly, and Shroud's going to take first contact here. Knows someone's dropped down. This doesn't tell him much, but he knows that CLG have drop control room, or drop room control.
There you go. And yeah, they have backed away from that drop room like we suspected. Cloud9, that is. Skadoodle in danger, coming away with the first kill onto Hayes. Taking him down with a headshot. Shroud playing close to the pistols, but doing a lot of damage. He takes down 2. Fugly there on the trade, if you can call it that, with the CZ. Slemmy getting shot from behind. It's actually Cutler from CT Slope to find Skadoodle, but Slemmy making sure it doesn't get out of hand.
So all we saw from CLG was just a slow default into drop control. They wanted to avoid nades and try to get drop control with 2 players, and then it was basically the pistol with the small caveat of instead of sending 3 people through A, sending 3 people through drop. But they made no waves, and they spent a little bit of money. It won't make such a big difference. I think the reason that they bought was almost certainly because they didn't get a plant.
So it looks like we can see from that bird's eye view there, everyone for CLG going into this middle room with just the Glocks. 1 P250 on Tarek. As Skadoodle going to find 2 very, very quick headshots, and it's Tarek with that P250 that does find a kill. Still 4 on 3, and Shroud is looking to play Farming Simulator here with that Nova. Trying to get the $900 per kill, but it's not happening for him yet. Slemmy might be the man to watch out for. He can get pressured from Slope and from Long A, but he's going to be the aggressor in this situation. He'll take them both down as he flicks over onto Fugly, and now we've just got Tarek.
It's really important to hemorrhage your losses on rounds like these because they come back to haunt you when you go into the first rifle, and we see that Cloud9 done so well now that even if they lose the next round, they'll be able to buy. That's crucial for them. Now Tarek actually has the bomb, and he's moving on to the site. Won't be able to get a plant, however, it seems like, at least.
I mean, 1 kill here more for Tarek. That'd be a very big deal. Limit the growth of that CT economy, as 3 people up is good enough usually. 2 FAMASas in the mag 7, and Tarek making another rotation back over in mid-room where he started off the round with that first kill for his side.
Yeah, he's got a lot of HP, and he's clearly controlling rotations right now. The drop player is not anywhere near the door. He has 1 player A. If he knows where he is, he might have a good chance to kill him, but no, nothing. Has the crossfire on lock and takes him down. That's Cloud9 with a quick 3-0.
Let's see if CLG can bounce back now. The buy in the second round was actually somewhat expensive, but then especially for Cutler with the Deagle and the nade, so a little bit more than everyone else. He could be somewhat limited here going into round 3. Just a smoke and a flash, but the important thing is, actually both teams are able to pull out the op here. Skadoodle will have a full buy, JDM with just his op.
You see a nade being lined up from Shroud. Actually does just a little bit of damage, 30 or so to Fugly. And JDM waiting for a mistake to be made at Long A. I don't know if this pick will be given to him, but it doesn't look like it. A bit of angle holding from both teams right now. And CLG aren't forfeiting map control, and neither are Cloud9. They're steadfast. We have one at Long A pushed up aggressively, but he's got a friend with him in danger. That's Skadoodle.
Yeah, and that's Slemmy getting about as much information as you can safely on Cobble CT side. And he had that support, so he wasn't going to get flanked.
So this is the thing. CLG actually outpatients them into falling off of A, and we see them moving up towards A right now. So that's a bit of map control won by CLG at the cost of Cutler, I think, taking a hit from Skadoodle. So he's down to 20 HP. He's almost out of the round, but he's still a body right now.
Slemmy, though, I think that was hiding out at one of the nooks there on the CT slope. So he could be in a one-and-done position. Actually, Cutler's pretty low. Where is Cutler holding out right now? He's been brought down to 16 HP already.
And again, it's just, I think it's going to be the battle of 2 really patient teams right now. And we see that Cloud9 aren't really giving them an inch. And because they've actually got a damage advantage, it's not that bad that they gave up forward control at A. It's not the most important place to stand. There's lots of spots on the site that you can defend from. But no, Hayes actually gets that kill on Slemmy. But he has a teammate there, so maybe the rotations won't be so drastic.
And here's Cutler. I think he took his early damage from drop anyways, but now he's been able to get down. Molotov to go out, but it's Tarek and Hayes both finding a kill. Nothing to answer back onto Tarek, and CLG with the man advantage. But look at the clock. There's only 7 seconds. JDM hits a nice shot. Bomb has, I don't know if it's been started to plant. They've just got to survive, but here comes Hayes from behind. And in the nick of time, CLG will take the round.
Wow, they actually do it. And that was a serious battle of patience. Like, you don't typically see that, where map control is taken so seriously and you just have players' eyes glued to the screen, just waiting for mistakes. And we saw CLG actually outpatience Cloud9 into getting some map control at A, and then getting the kill on Slemmy. That was enormous. Even though Cutler took some damage, the fact that CLG got the opening pick, converted that into a round, is really good in their stats.
I was kind of surprised to see Slemmy actually go for that aggressive peek. But here we are on to another round. Cloud9 were able to still get a bit of a buyout. And they'll put nothing up here on the tree boost. So pulling out a big, powerful position early on the B site. Oh, someone got out already. Nothing was blind, but he will realize it, and he's going to take down Tarek from above. He quickly turns to look at drop, but nothing will find a second kill. Finally, JDM will take it down, but now it's Stewie, a little off the mark there. He does find the 1 kill now with that USP through the smoke, nearly gets him. 7 bullets left here in the A4, so he's used quite a few bullets already. He knows someone's coming out of drop. There it is, a quick headshot onto Fugly. Cutler for the trade, but he's left in a 1 versus 2 with just a Galil. Plenty of time, and actually it looks like he can get the bomb plant. Oh, no, he's trying to play for the win. He wants the kill, but Skadoodle shows him the op.
With a great flash, too. I mean, he secured that frag. He might have taken a bullet if not for it, but either way, I think Stewie was really important that round, doing all that damage to Broken Wall and then getting that kill on drop. And this is huge. We see Terry actually come out off of his flash because that allows him to wrap the site. But the thing was, he stopped halfway down path and pulled out a smoke. And, you know, nothing when he came to his senses saw that there was a flash that came out. But, you know, I got to check my corners right now.
So just like that, CLG get the 1 round and then into a reset. Not quite in full, as they will still have some potent pistols and that armor. Actually, Fugly even with the Mac 10. We'll see if he can't go out first, be that bit of a distraction. Maybe Hayes can capitalize with the Deagle after the fact. Shroud, knowing what he's up against, is going to back off of drop room. Nothing finds the first kill, but here's Stewie getting him as they come off the Broken Wall. Actually, I think he's gone up, and Shroud at Rock maybe should have had 2, but just finding the 1 kill there onto JDM.
Wow. You know, it's a really good sign when you see the cameraman, like, spectating people that are getting shot in the back. Like, that's just a really good sign for you when you're on CT side. It shows that there's a lot of coordination. It's not coming down to, you know, one person taking an individual aim duel, but CLG are trying to do these splits and they're not working out so well. You know, Hayes is already looking very tired, just wiped his face just now, and now it's CLG who, off of that 1 rifle round, are basically on a double save. So Cloud9 off to a really, really strong start.
So now relegated to just the Glock, so it will be Cutler this time that has the 1P250. Looking for a mistake, and he actually finds it. He's brought down Slemmy, so that will be a rifle over... Actually, no, just the UMP, which is probably why Slemmy went for that informational peek in the first place. But look at Stewie, down to 4 HP.
Yeah, he actually just got double dinked by the P250, but if he had known that there were only pistols outside, he almost certainly wouldn't have pushed A. I actually didn't anticipate the double. Whoa, he should have actually anticipated the double save. It should have been obvious 4-1, where CLG didn't even do that much damage on their ecos. So that was a bit of a misplay by him, and he paid for it. And Stewie also very low, trying to challenge Long B. And now that leaves 2 players in the B site versus 4 angry terrorists.
Although Stewie is low, no one has armor, so if he could just hit the first bullet, they'll be hard-pressed to land one on him, and it's nothing that will find Tarek as Tarek tries to be the one man to push out onto A, but gets shut down. Stewie does find a kill from 4 HP, and it's with the nade onto Hayes, and then around the site, Stewie finding another one. 13 bullets left. Finally, Cutler takes him out, but he's all alone. Shroud waiting for him on the cross, and okay, Shroud doesn't come away with it, but nothing is there.
You know, Stewie's always had really good aim, but what was really interesting to me there is I see that like style that Shroud has with the waggle after he shoots and how he's aiming. It seems like Stewie's taking on a bit of the style that Shroud has, and it's very unique. I mean, there are certain players that aim that way. It's like a really choppy aim, and it seems like they've both adopted similar styles of play. But now we move into a rifle round. We actually have 2 ops to answer for the 1 of CLG, so that's JDM, who's got a lot of work to do in this round. It's actually Stewie to pick it up on the other side of the map, I think.
Yeah, it is definitely Stewie with the op, and he's going to be boosted up onto the B platform right now, so taking control of this, and one of the most important positions, I think, on the CT side with the op. It allows you to get so much information about what the terrorists are doing on the B platform. As of right now, not very much, but you can see Cutler and also is that Tarek next to him, working into drop. Cutler does get that first headshot onto Shroud. Man advantage once more for CLG.
Yeah, and very important to note, and it's important to remember that, and we'll see who wins this round.
Nothing's going to dish into smoke to make things a little bit more chaotic, to see if they really want to try to push through this. And it looks like Nothing hurt something. He starts shooting, and he was dead on. And he will eventually take him down. I think he heard the reload there.
Nothing, infamous for using sound to some of the best in all of CSGO, carrying over from 1.6 where it was so important.
I know Nothing has swung around to the other side of drop. He's hoping they're still looking for him at the main exit. He's gone to the window, and here's Stewie with that op. Does find 1 kill onto Tarek. Might even get some more.
Wow. And then re-aggressing drop and getting that frag and leaving JDM all alone. So the man who we thought that was going to open up the round and have to do with the brunt of the work is actually last alive, hasn't taken a shot yet, and probably doesn't even know that there's a second op even on the board. This is a horrible position for CLG to be in. Saving this op is going to be a small consolation prize. We can see the money is very low across the board, but that's another round win for Cloud9. They're looking strong.
They might be able to figure out the double op, right? Because it was Stewie that got both the kills, and are you really going to think that Skadoodle dropped his op to throw it over to Stewie?
I don't think Skadoodle had the op in the round previous. That's why. Did he?
No, he did.
Oh, he
I just don't think he was needed. Yeah, so 6-1. Wow, Cloud9. Or 7-1 now. And it's that CT side of Cobble that is always the really scary one that can fall apart. But the fact that Cloud9 have started out this strong, this early on, they've got to be feeling really good right now.
Yeah. No, I actually not sure if there was a pause called by CLG. This is definitely
Seems
the
like
score.
a good time to do it.
This is the score line where you would certainly call a pause, and it might just be to slow it down. It seems like CLG have a game plan, they want to stick to it. It's just not worked. And on that round, we saw a man advantage to CLG, and then all of a sudden everybody dies. Cloud9 obviously did a really good job of re-aggressing in certain areas, and when they repeat, getting the frags. But CLG is starting to loosen their default now, and so the plan that's supposed to be the safest, right? When you're the most concerned, when you want to just feel out your opponent, right? You only want to throw a couple of jabs, and you don't want to commit to a really strong hook. Then you go into a default and you take it slow and go for map control. But then when you lose in that default, what's your strategy, right? Are you pushed into a fast, aggressive play? That's not something you want to do because you're frantic, right? That's something that you want to throw at them once you've gotten away with your default a few times and you want to change the tempo. So, you know, if they want to go that far into their playbook, they've got an important decision to make as to whether or not it's going to be obvious. And there is actually Irakanji standing behind.
Okay, so he is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a little unsure of that ourselves if he was going to be there. So that could be really helping out with Slemmy now helping out in-game, Irakanji behind them. But looking at CLG, we did actually see them outpatient Cloud9 a couple times. That's how they found the man advantage a couple times. On the round that they won, actually, they got that last kill with like a second to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was maybe even a bit lucky.
You know, it has always come close, and another thing to know is because the man advantage has gone to CLG on these rifle rounds, and yet Cloud9's managed to pull them out, or at least come very close, it's because we see the players on the B side, like Stewie, getting 2 or 3 kills, and that's super important, right? For not only for you as a CT to stay alive, but to turn your first kill into a second, and he's done that on really low HP as well, so they're doing an excellent job versus what CLG are kind of approaching as like a slow game.
Yeah, CLG were actually having difficulty getting any control of that long B platform. We've seen them like charge it a couple times, but that was just when they had pistols, and it was Stewie generally there with the submachine gun to take them down. But then Stewie posted with the op, wouldn't let them by. Nothing's been a bit annoying, and Nothing has made big plays for him on top of the tree, and then also around the drop room area in B.
This is like a super overpowered angle from Skadoodle where, oh wow, you almost always get a free pick, but pulls the trigger a little bit too early and has to fall back to the site.
And Skadoodle aware that they left this open, so he's going to be watching that slope. He will take down Cutler, maybe not expecting Hayes to be so close, but Slemmy will help him out. So both the boys on A finding a frag, and now it's 5-3. As JDM, remind everyone, did save that up there in the castle, and then we had some pistol buy-ups for CLG, and JDM with that op. He will take down Nothing. There's still a man down, and then Slemmy and Skadoodle again, both of them getting a kill, and that's a double for each of them.
Oh, looks like Tarek's actually picked up the op now, and he's left alone. And I think his goal right here is just to do a lot of damage, right? There's at least another 7 rounds left in the half, or 6 after this one, and the money can get low really quickly. Like, even if you all have 16K, it's going to dissipate in a matter of 4 rounds in a row, so it still does matter for him to do damage and take the round slowly. He also doesn't want to give up the op, and he does leave it down there. I don't think it's going to matter. They won't pick up a 3rd one. That would be kind of absurd. We got the slow head shake from Irakanji. I think he's just too impressed right now that this lineup is going, that everything's going as smoothly as it is.
Yeah, and keep in mind, CLG didn't have a lot into that round, but it was the brothers in arms, Skadoodle and Slemmy, getting 3 and 2 kills each over there on A, just locking it down. And here's CLG. This is actually their best-looking rifle round yet in terms of the utility that they have to work with.
Yeah, definitely. Now, money might not be the problem for them, but they have come close in the past. Oh, off of that flash,
how is he still alive?
I think it might have been a team flash as well, so maybe not going as aggressive as they could have in that situation, but either way, that might cost them. CLG now taking forward A control. I mean, Cloud9 know what to expect, and this is the power of a default. You know, the CTs know what to expect, it's just you can't stop it. And at a certain point, there's so much tension built up that the first 1v1 can sometimes be the decider.
And this is a little similar to what we saw from CLG on the pistol round, with 3 people having taken that long A control and the other 2 with the bomb chilling out at B, looking to go drop and then likely split onto the A site. But Skadoodle might have a different plan. They're going to try to peek right into him. Skadoodle sees the elbow, takes the shot, and is now forced off the angle. And speaking of angles, look at Slemmy there. He's up on that boost. 40 seconds to go, and CLG is going to take it the other way, back over to B.
It could have been a precarious spot if he had to fall forward or fall backward, but it seems like he'll be safe today. But the thing is that the rotate back to B is actually the right one. CLG are still committed over 2 towards A. We see Skadoodle on the left side of the site as well. And the aggression is going to have to come out soon. 20 seconds left, but they haven't done a good job baiting out nades.
Yeah, and they're actually getting flashed themselves. There's a nice one on to Stewie, keeping him locked in KFC. Nothing's got a great angle for one man who still has to cross Broken Wall. Actually, they're coming out of drop. Nothing. Not going to let go of Mouse One. He finds a double, but here's Tarek answering back, taking down Nothing. 2-on-2, 10 seconds to go. Bomb is being armed up along the wall. Yeah, it's just gone down, and it seems like Skadoodle completely aware. As soon as Tarek peeks out, he's taken down. And now it's just JDM with the OP 1 versus 2. And Slemmy's got him from the other side. And that's a closer one, but still, it's Cloud9 with another round. That's 9-1.
Really close. Skadoodle's always having to get these picks where someone gives him like the slightest bit of their shoulder, and he goes 1 for 3 in that round, but it's one that counts in the 2v2. So that was a really good one by him. And another round sealed up, the 2v2s. And at such an important time where CLG had the most money, they just recently took their pause the round before, and that was an eco, so they were putting all their eggs in that one. And come away with no success.
Taking a look at Slummy there, the newest face to Cloud9. I'm sure everyone will be seeing a lot of.
Hair on fleek.
There you go. Very, very important stuff. And looking at Cutler, trying to figure out what him and his team are going to need to do.
And it looks like there's a bit of a tech issue here. So there might be somewhat of a delay. This is a good time to abuse talking, though. No one can stop you from doing that. And the game is still not over, though. And for Cloud9, they know that all of a sudden, after 2 rifle rounds, we might be saving it again if we lose them, and we have to continue to try to dominate. And we see like teams that go up by a large amount of rounds in the early game drop the last couple, even if they have a dominant half overall, because they get a little bit lazy, they get complacent, and also it's probably hard to try to reinvent yourself when you know your static is working so well. You don't want to change things on CT side when everything's going really well, but it is up to you to expect the team that you're playing on T side to try to find a new way to attack you, and so you've got to be one step ahead the whole way through.
And looking back to that last round that CLG just had, we commented at the start that it was the most utility that they've really had on board to work with.
Yeah.
But you said, as they were going out, like they started off slow, they took that long control, but as soon as Skadoodle missed that op shot, some information was given up, they quickly rotated back to B and then tried to take B fast, and they didn't really use that utility.
No,
a couple flashes over, but...
No, actually the point was that they didn't do a good job baiting out the utility of Cloud9.
Yeah,
so
that as well. It
seems like they made like a frantic rotation back to B without that being in the long-term goal of things, right? They could have committed 3 players to A and still planned to go B, but you knew that wasn't really part of the plan, and they were going on the fly because they didn't spend they didn't fake a long B hit, they didn't spend time working drop because they didn't bait out any Molotovs, and we saw the Molotovs be a huge reason that it made it hard for CLG to cross the site. But once again, they did get in, they did bring it to the 2v2, they got the bomb down for once, and they still ended up losing. So there's hope for CLG at B, and we see that even in their default, they go up or they go down, it always comes close. The thing is that, Cloud9 clutching out these rounds, these close rounds, at the end of the day, they've got a maximum of like a 5-round half to look for, or that is CLG.
Yeah, and Cloud9 already got to be very happy on the CT side with the 9 rounds, and there's obviously a chance for a lot more. And it's not even going to be an easy road back for CLG, because even if they do win, we already saw them get reset once. It could just happen again and make the rest of the half even easier for Cloud9 moving forward.
I honestly see a lot of potential in the way that CLG are playing their T side, but I'm so much more interested to see what Cloud9's T side is going to look like, just because we haven't seen it before.
Might not get to see very much of it if it continues on like this.
Yeah, potentially. I don't see the second half being easy, even if CLG get a few rounds. That might be enough to make it a long game, but Cloud9 are looking to take this one.
Another shot there of Irakanji.
The man you don't see very often.
All right, still waiting on some issues to be sorted. So again, more time for the teams to talk about what's, well, for Cloud9 probably to talk about what is working for them, but definitely for CLG to go back to the drawing board. And I agree wholeheartedly with the idea that they need to have a bit more of a presence at B to force out some of that utility.
Yeah.
Like, they had to run through so many Molotovs. They got flashed in the face as well.
And they've picked B when there's only 3 people there. The issue is that all those players are apt to deal with the rush that's about to hit them, even if it comes unexpectedly. Like, throwing a couple of counter nades. Like a Molotov is basically, a smoke that does damage in the sense that even though it doesn't block your vision off completely, it stops you from going through it. It discourages you from going through it. And acts even better in certain ways when you know a push is coming because it's coming down to the last 20 seconds. And the times that the pushes work in the last 20 seconds is when you've gotten so much map control, you have a man advantage, and your opponents don't know what site you're going to pick. But in that situation, I think in recent times we see that not be the case. They're not able to catch Cloud9 off guard.
And I wonder if JDM with the op, we saw him, I guess actually on last round as well, where he started off with the op at long A, trying to get that initial pick onto Skadoodle.
Yeah.
Do you think it might come down to JDM trying to find the opening kill for CLG?
Yeah, like on the couple of rounds, as you mentioned, like he's been alive last, right? And,
yep.
It might be that, it might appear as though JDM is moving too slowly. But at the same time, maybe his teammates are dying too quickly and not giving him a chance to work the map the way that he wants to. It's hard to say from our perspective, but I'd say that, yeah, if he's not having impact, the bottom line is he's got to play to the tempo of his teammates as opposed to the other way around. Or there just has to be a leadership decision that says, you guys got to slow it down so JDM has more time to work his pick safely, because it's Cloud9 to be slightly aggressive, but they're mainly just holding angles and expecting these pushes. So you can't expect JDM to jump peek things and take those kinds of risks when it would be better off for him to just go slowly and just hope his teammates stay alive to support him.
And I think something could be said for some of the members of CLG just stepping up and quite simply hitting their shots, because when we saw them come out of drop, especially on that last round, I don't think nothing really should have got those 2 kills.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was saying, like multi-kills coming out on the B side as well, and that's rounds where CLG get the first opening frag. So yeah, everyone just putting in work right now. And Slemmy's hitting headshots too, and we saw his previous land, like I think it was, I don't know if it was just online results or land mixed into that, but overall has not performed really well, and is a very involved IGL, so it's no surprise. The more structured and serious and dense of a workload you put on your team, the harder it is to perform. And here we are back into the game, 9-1 for Cloud9, and CLG on a bye without a rifle. Whoa, that's a really aggressive ball, but he gets away with the frag.
Cutler's going to make sure he doesn't get all the way back to safety, though. He will take him down, and now nothing working around the smoke. He's been so good in the smoke and chaos into this B-side, even coming away with another dink. So it's a 2-on-2, but a big HP advantage over to Cloud9. Now Shroud with the frag onto Fugly, hiding out behind the rock. You can see the utility being thrown quite desperately there by Hayes, and Shroud will take him.
And that's what we're talking about, right? Like, even though you have a lead, if you come off a pause and your static defense has been working, it's really up to you to try to reinvent yourself. At that point, if he didn't maybe make that aggressive push, the CT defensive is calcified too much, and it becomes obvious what's going to happen. CLG might be too comfortable getting drop control, too comfortable getting A control, and so they want to throw them through those kinds of loops.
And then also, we still have the double op out for Cloud9. CLG going to need to find a way to solve that puzzle. Maybe Tarek with the Tech 9 can do it if he could just get in close. And we actually have a heavy presence for CLG outside in T middle, waiting for a push, waiting for any sort of aggression from Cloud9. But you can see where they are postured up here in A. That's just not going to happen.
This is where Cloud9 have smell blood completely. They know that CLG are going to start forcing up, and it's not unjustified. We see so low utility from CLG, like Tarek literally has a Tech 9 and 1 flash with his head armor. But they might expect to buy just every single round because the half they're looking for is just not good enough at this point.
Oh, and Skadoodle going to hit Cutler in the foot. And look at this, man, the bait and switch. Slummy playing in the corner here, and Skadoodle's just going to go for one more setup on this angle. They've actually had a rotation over. It's going to need to watch CT slope. And has he tagged up another? And Slummy's going to find them both. He'll turn and find one more. Shroud already in the sight. I don't think this player is going to be aware. And oh, Hayes does actually find that kill. That must have been a sick headshot from his perspective. He will go down, though. Nothing coming over the balcony to find him. And Tarek left in a 1 versus 2. We're trying desperately there to get into a 1 versus 1. He's brought Stewie 2K down to 2 HP.
Ooh, I think he was just spotted crossing onto the site. That might allow Cloud9 to try to move in. I think they're going to do it together. Flash goes out. Tarek in a 1v2. He's got both players blind, but he doesn't know it. And this could easily just be a spray down. But no, Stewie actually with the off frag and 2 HP finds the kill and the defuse, and now Cloud9 are up 11-1. Can you believe it?
You kind of thought on low HP they might just go out the same way and get completely sprayed down, but they split up and the op shot lands. So another close one, but it's still nothing on the board there.
Yeah, that's That's a tough round to lose. And I think nothing got the really important frag there from Heaven, right? It was like it was a 2v2 situation. It could have been a 2v1 in the favor of Cloud or CLG. And it does come down to those moments. Sometimes it's just that 1v1 in that situation where you could have an afterplant situation in a 2v1 where if you don't get the kill, you just lose the round. And it put Tarek in a really tough spot.
I actually thought Shroud, because it seemed like he was on the broken wall over at A and no one knew about it, was going to be in the round-winning position, but he got nothing. Hazed destroyed him, but here we are, going for this boost again. Stewie 2K not going to back down.
Stewie nodding in agreement.
Holy peek it. He might actually end up peeking it on the fallback, and it looks like he'll take Fugly out with an op bullet to the knee. JDM, though, has found nothing with his op. Shroud going to back off to Rock, and that's going to be the back B site control given up, but Shroud peeking out does find Tarek. And Slemmy holding around in danger, maybe not quite aware that Cutler has gone up long A, but it won't matter as Slemmy falls back completely.
Yeah. Oh, man advantage, but no, he gets caught. Bomb spotted crossing, and now Skadoodle going to throw a nade. Will that do any damage? No, it's not. It's a little bit too far off. Hayes moving up to the site with his teammate. Now, they might have the ability to plant the bomb, but will they win the after plant? 2v3.
Well, they got the door smoked off. Oh, no, the smoke is going to miss up onto the balcony, so someone from Cloud9 can still easily peek this. Or maybe it was all the plan, and they want them to think they can, and Cutler's there underneath waiting for them. Still man advantage for Cloud9. They've got quite a few flashes, but that's it. And double ops, that's actually not the best weaponry you're going to want going for the retake. Although, look at that. One of the operators going sneaky beaky, and that was Stewie around the van. Then Shroud gets hazed off on the site, and that's 12-1 right now for Cloud9.
Sick retake. You know, this is just another example of a round that could have easily gone the way of CLG, but beyond the structure, beyond the the 5-man setups out of spawn, it just comes down to your good individual play and your good your good communication and your ability to tether off your teammates in very tense situations. And a missed smoke, and then Cutler getting killed by getting shot in the side by Stewie. It was just a really good retake. That was slow. We saw Heaven go really slowly as well, and I think that put CLG off kilter a bit.
And I really like what we saw that round from Stewie, right? He's just making these really manly plays with this op. He goes up in the counter boost with an op 2 rounds in a row, and then he is the man that sneaks in first with an op around the van on the retake there, coming away with the kill. So he's playing great. Oh, Tarek gonna take a nade to the noggin. That one had to hurt, but he does get into a very good spot.
Oh man, this is super interesting. Like, they threw the smoke down and passed just so Tarek could get out. And because they don't know what he's doing, they don't actually know if he's here or not. Will he get the frag, though? It looks like he can. In the mess of the confusion, Cloud9 find the kill. Nothing with the headshot. Makes it a 5v4, and a shot is missed by, it looks like Skadoodle, and now Hayes gets the better of him.
Kind of surprising. I guess Skadoodle peeks out, sees 3. Can be hard to pick a target. They still got man advantage. Cutler is one and done. It's nothing that finds the trade. Slummy playing at the wood panels. He'll bring down Fugly, and it's just JDM. Nothing will get the best of him. It's pure domination here from Cloud9.
Unreal. The early to mid round, I think I have to give the edge to CLG, but right now it's a 50-45 fight for me. Ultimately, in terms of putting rounds on the board, which is all that matters, especially this late in the half, Cloud9 are just showing that they aren't shaken at all. CLG on another force buy, and this is just a round that is even more favorable for Cloud9 just because they know exactly how much money they have, and that's not a lot.
And that's Fugly. It looks like taking damage through the Cobblestones here on Cobble. Slemmy will get the kill on the JDM, and it is the last round of the half. CLG put everything they had into this one in terms of the money, but they're getting nothing out of it. Everyone hitting the shot. Skadoodle with the nice one, and then Slemmy to find Fugly once more. Look how happy Slemmy looks.
Slemmy doing extremely good on land right now. Considering his performance list, it doesn't seem to be at all a problem. I hope that's Powerade. Much better than Gatorade.
Whoa.
Objective opinion here.
I don't know if you can say that.
I mean, they only have 1 round. What else? What else makes?
Yeah, I mean, really, there isn't much to say positively for CLG with just the 1 round, and even that 1 round was so close down to the wire. Yeah. It was the kill with like 1 second left. I mean, I guess they had the positional advantage, so they'd worked a little bit better in the early, mid, and then even into the late round to have that advantage. But
yeah, that's a good point.
Wow, and a quick start here into the second half. We've got Cloud9 winning and Crowd9 chanting away.
Well played.
A lot of utility there for nothing. Same thing for Slummy, so actually just 3 Kevlars on the side of Cloud9, as Fugly will take some early damage and back off. He had a bit more of an aggressive spot on B, but he's given it up.
Now, this is a lose-lose for us if we wanted to see C9's T side, because if they just start losing, then we see it's just a bad T side. But if they win, we don't get to see much of how they do it. And, oh, there's Skadoodle get the opening pick again. 5v4 on the pistol, so huge. We saw him be so dominant last half, and that's almost 100 damage done to Hayes. Wow, there it is, just to clean him up.
Man, Hayes got instantly gooshed. At that range was crazy, and then Stewie's able to clean him up as he tries to make the rotation to get maybe over into the back of the A site, but the terrorists are there now. It's Cloud9 who have planted the bombs. Skadoodle still hiding out on the slope. Slummy as well. The man's trying to come through the murder hole there, but being denied.
Man, this after plan 4v3. Oh, though Fugly makes it a little different now. Slummy answers back with his frag of his own, but Cutler is right there to trade, and now Shroud in a 1v2 actually gets another kill. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What is this?
Those final 2 frags from Shroud. Looks like we will get to see them again here with the P250 as well on the pistol round. Taking out Tarek and Cutler. So that's 15-1. Possibly the last round here.
Not a round you should lose. I mean, 15-1. They have, they know, like CLG have to buy what they can here. There's no option to save last round of the game for them if they lose. And Cloud9 have basically glorified anti-eco on their rounds here, even though CLG are spending a little bit more money than they would if they were completely saving.
Well, it looks like I think that was Tarek up on the tree boost over in B, but that's just a 5-7. That could be an awkward range for that pistol. Cutler at a good range here for the Mag 7 playing out in drop room. But Cloud9 still playing it slow. 3 players outside in T middle. Maybe waiting for some over-aggression here from CLG.
You know, we got the C9 chat coming out. Fans are happy. The boys in blue. Wait. The boys in light blue.
Like every team's in blue these days. I don't know if that one helps. Fugly playing in danger, and who's going to go in? Looks like it might be Slummy first, leading the charge with the Galil. Or will it be Stewie? That makes more sense. Going in with the Neon Rider. That Mac 10 finding the first kill onto Fugly. They're up on the boost. Will it be checked? It isn't. JDM finds one. Slummy taking some damage, being forced to fall back, and another quick kill from JDM. That's a double, and now it's up to Tarek.
Cloud9 got. So for a moment there, maybe the slightest bit of hope.
Yeah, I think the round was definitely up in the air enough, and I wonder what they will do, as we still need the information as to what happened. But it was, who was it? Was Tarek up there on the tree boost? I don't think he came away with...
He's in a position where he has to get the frag, and he against all odds, right? You're using a pistol, and you have to kill riflers, so his teammates pitched in, but you can't always expect that 5-7 kill, right? It's against all odds, and for good reason.
Unless you're Pimp.
Unless you're Pimp, yeah, and then you get a 5-7 3K.
Like every round, it
no questions asked.
But all right, so try to frame this round from what I remember. So we had Tarek on the boost, and he went down. I think the only other player at B was Cutler with the Mag 7 in drop room. So actually, 3 players, if they got onto the site, that's not an easy rotation now with the Mag 7 from Cutler. But I guess none of this may matter, as we're still trying to figure out what exactly is going on.
We got the man, the dentist, the legend.
The dentist, yes.
The dentist.
We didn't bring that up on the desk either.
It gets clinical with your kanji.
There you go. I don't know if that was for your joke or if that was just in support of one of the teams.
Just a primal roar, it sounded like. That was straight from the gut.
All right, well, regardless of what happens, CLG still not in a good spot. You know the economy's not going to be there. At the very least, it's probably just a do-over on a force buy round from the terrorist once more. All right, we've got them rejoining the server, so it may not be too much longer.
It's kind of cool having a Swedish man tell you that. We've never had any Swedish production in our ears. It's interesting. Change
There
of
we go.
pace. I don't know.
All right, now they're speaking Swedish, Launders. What have you done? You've caused a problem. Another look at Hazed. Trying to figure out what he wants to do.
What is the issue? It's totally mentality right now for CLG. I mean, they've got to be able to win a lot more rounds than that. Like, even if they lose this game, like, it wasn't close, and there's no way that Cloud9 are just that much better than them consistently, right? Like, they should expect to at least get 10 or more rounds, no matter what the circumstance, versus a team that they rival against, that they play and practice often with.
So obviously, I mean, it's not over yet, but I don't think anyone's prediction. Who went for Cloud9? I think it was you did?
Yeah.
All right. And you said...
I just go for the winning team, you know?
We'll see. We'll see if that holds up throughout
Characterize it however you want.
Duration of this tournament. But you said something somewhat close, though, right? It wasn't like 16-13?
Yeah. I said it was going to be like 16-13. I expected CLG to do much better. We saw at least 6 or 7 rounds that CLG probably should have won.
Should have won.
But we're also could have been looked at as toss-ups. But after plant situations, you know, we have the advantage are thrown, and 2v2s won by Cloud9, so...
And this could maybe go back to the point that was made about the leadership and communication that takes rounds where maybe you should have... I think when it's 4-on-5, it's unfair to say you have like a 100% chance to win.
No, but you actually have, like, if you look at their map statistics, on average, their first kills result in an 80% chance of you winning the round.
Yeah, that's actually, that seems pretty high.
That's extremely high. Yeah. And that's because I'm hearing a lot of Swedish right now, and it's confusing me. But I like it. I like it.
At least messages are being passed, so we're on the way to getting this solved.
If you have 5v4, like, you really should win. Like, some people don't notice the changes that happen because they're very subtle. But ultimately, if you're a professional team and you have a 5v4 advantage, you should know how to play that advantage. And we see that result in proper conversions of rounds more often than not.
But it was Cloud9 we were worried about, right? Maybe they wouldn't have been completely together and on the same page with the roster changes, and they dropped rounds from that position. But instead, they won most of the time when they had man advantage. And then also, they grinded so many rounds back when they were man down early.
What we know about Slemmy is he's hardworking and that he wants to add a lot of structure to the team. And I think that Irakanji is in the same vein of thinking. So I feel like even though he's had a lot of work to do, or they had a lot of work to do, they've probably done quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. This one map doesn't tell you too much, but it does tell us something, and that's that Cloud9 have potential.
All right, and what I don't think was talked about yet, so obviously Moses, I think it was Moses, that got everyone these Texas Ranger, and Yanko, he wants some credit as well. But what does yours say?
Not Launders, that's for sure. A Buckaroo.
It says Buckaroo. That's good. It's the most important point right now.
Is that your
and
name?
then, yeah, Yanko is
the
Texas Walker Ranger. Walker Texas Ranger, whatever. Or it's not important. Ah, there we go. So he's got the best one, but he is still muted.
Yeah.
So still waiting on the information. I mean, it's really, there's not too much to break down because it was just so dominant, like all the way through from Cloud9, and I think we basically.
Yeah, and everyone did their job, and you know what? Slemmy was also fragging. Like, Slemmy was also getting 2 kills on the A side.
He was big on A side.
I also expected them not to get more than maybe 9 rounds on CP side, like if they had a really good half. Like, the fact that CLG got 1 is just ridiculous on their T side, but Slemmy was putting in a lot of work, and it seems like he's got a really good relationship with Skadoodle on that site.
Yeah.
Right? They were both getting kills, and they were both staying alive for very, very often. If one would die, the other would get a frag and manage to fall back to the site.
Did you have any takeaways from Skadoodle's opping that we saw there on the CT side?
He pulled the trigger a little bit too fast on some of the frags. One thing I noticed from Cold after watching him yesterday is that he won't shoot right away. If someone does give him a shoulder peek, and I think that Skadoodle actually is just so fast that he's very used to just taking those fights, but I think a couple of times if he waited 1 extra second, even after seeing part of a body, he could have hit the kill, or gotten the kills. But I don't know, it's situational, and also he's extremely fast, so. JDM's actually 4 feet tall when he stands up. I don't know if anyone knew that, but.
Is he?
I mean, look.
I mean, why stand up when you look that comfortable sitting down? That's the real question. As I was actually pretty impressed with Stewie's op, right? We saw him get into those very aggressive scenarios that you wouldn't often see, going up in the counter boost a couple rounds in a row, getting a kill and dying 1 round, getting a kill and retreating on the next one, and then sneaking into A around the van, finding a quick op frag on the retake.
Yeah.
Where you wouldn't expect the op to be leading the charge, but there he was in the thick of it.
Impactful kills too, right?
Yeah.
So I think we have some sort of match medic going on.
Yeah, it looks like it will be near completion. So actually, we didn't get word. Do we know? Are they replaying the last round, I assume?
It's potentially. I mean, if they
Yeah.
aren't.
I mean, that would.
If they aren't, then well, you know, we can
What
move on
do
to the
you
next
even-
map.
Yeah,
Right?
right. I
Because
guess what do you
Cloud9
do
already
at that
won.
point? I don't think we have the technology to start in the middle of a round, but yeah, it should just be replaying. What was it? Round 17.
Replay
Okay.
from the start. Yeah. Okay.
Which actually, I mean, I feel like that's going to be really good. Who do you think that benefits more? I mean, obviously CLG because they're not just out of it,
Yeah,
out of the
maybe
map
it was,
yet.
it was
but
3v3, so it's hard to say how much that is better than 5v5 when it's like pistols. And also, they knocked down a couple of guns that they could have picked up, so that might make a difference.
Yeah.
I think the main problem was that CLG only had one person left on B, and they had 2 people over at long A, which is an enormous rotate. It's like one of the longest rotates in the game, so that would also hinder them, especially considering Tarek went down without getting a frag, and that was Cutler with the Mag 7 who was spotted. When you're not spotted and you get the jump on someone, you get a free kill. But when you're spotted, people treat you like gold. If you have a Mag 7 and you're at some close angle, they'll be very careful to make sure they don't die. That's like their first priority. So it would have been very hard for Cutler to find a way to open up a round, make it a 3v2.
And I'm a little worried on CLG's behalf that we didn't actually see Stewie. He moved in with the Mac 10, remember, into the mid room, and he actually only got 1 kill. So there's a chance now Stewie with the Mac 10 could just end up finding everybody. You never know with that weapon, but hopefully we will actually just get to see what happens instead of continuing to theorycraft about the round.
Yep. That is CS for you.
And I didn't really get a chance to check out the fragging, the scoreboard too much. But
yeah, it would have been cool to take a look, actually. If I had to guess, I'd say like Slemmy was probably around like 17, 18 kills, considering how many times CLG actually ended up going A, which was maybe like 35 to 40% of the rounds. Like they spent a lot more time going to B. So I think it was like nothing up there, or like
yeah,
21,
nothing's got to
22.
be maybe at the top.
And then Stewie was also the long B player, and drop control was given up quite often, so Stewie was probably way up there as well. And everybody contributing. And you know what? The kill distribution can't be that high because we have basically only seen half a map. So I'm thinking of it more like, I'm thinking of the kills more as if they played out an entire game, when in reality it's only been like 17, 16 rounds.
Yeah, it should actually be pretty close.
Hello.
And then
Oh,
hey.
Yeah, I was just organising my papers.
Reinforcements have arrived.
You
That's
guys needed
right.
some help.
Yeah, you guys seemed like you'd kind of slowed down to almost talking in slow motion.
Yeah, that's CS for you.
That's CS for you. So yeah.
I mean, what do you say after this game, Alex?
I mean, we
I
can
mean, it's
say
not
that
over yet, but it's over.
it's basically over. I mean, 15-1 to Cloud9. I can safely say no one on the desk, or probably in the crowd, was anticipating that. Maybe some die-hard Cloud9 fans had the
But
had
you know
the
who
60
was?
there.
Sean Garrett, apparently. Because
yeah?
I saw him, he tweeted out that CLG never beat Cloud9 on LAN in a tournament, and I couldn't get more than like January 2015, something like that, and they actually didn't. Never on LAN, they never beat Cloud9, so I didn't know about that.
I mean, chances are it wasn't as ridiculous of a scoreline as that
no,
one.
of course, but
Sure.
still.
It's something to be regarded. I just have to give you guys some props because you talked about Tarek being boosted onto that tree for a good 5 minutes. Like, you straight up need some respect for that.
It's a good boost.
Yeah, you did well. And I don't know if you guys know, but it was a 3v3 is what you were telling us. It was a 3v3.
You'll never forget it.
Yeah, there was a Mag 7 in play. Yeah, but I mean, it's really hard. We may as well start some post-match now. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Unless we see maybe an incredible comeback from CLG, goes all the way to overtime, and then...
No.
Okay, no, we should start the post-match now. The score is currently 15-1. If you have just joined us and are wondering what on earth is going on, technical hitch, like we lost the server at a 3v3, as they've already told you, basically between CLG and Cloud9. Looked like it was going the way of Cloud9, just in terms of numbers and weapons and everything else.
It was 3v3, remember?
It was a 3v3, yeah.
And Tarek was boosted on the tree.
He was on the tree, yeah. You see?
He did die though.
He died, and it was, who was it with the Mag 7?
Cutler.
Cutler,
and then someone was over an A. Whoever was left.
And we're just going to continue to describe this one round of CS for you.
The thing is, when you look at the game in the first half, right? We were talking about it in the pregame that, you know, C9 has a good chance maybe on the CT side if the players go off, and it's exactly what happened. It was mostly nothing. It wasn't Shroud, or I mean, everyone had a good game, obviously, but it was nothing who got a lot of crucial kills early on in the first half in that all-important fifth round after CLG won the first gun round. From that tree position, he gets 2 kills. Then he was really good at holding around drop, and you know, it took time for CLG to figure out, you know, what they're going to go for. They had a lot of eco rounds because you want to have JDM on the AWP as well. You want to have all that utility to be able to do your executes, get long control. But at times it seemed that, not that they were hesitant, but they just took too long to you know, execute. Even that in that first gun round they won, they only won it because, you know, there was 1 second left, I think, or 2 seconds left. So it could have easily gone the way of Cloud9 as well. So you know, you combine that with, yep.
Oh, I think it's happening. All right, Yanko, let's disappear. You guys, Helium London.
Podcast.
We're making history.
Do some casting, Alex. Come on.
Oh, it's been ages since I did some casting.
Try it.
Should we do some play-by-play?
Yes.
All right, okay, cool. So, CLG are rocking some pistols. I'm stealing the caster's jobs now for a second. We've got a scout on Cutler, no armor though. And he's going to be trying to make it happen.
Let the real guys.
There we go, okay, that was enough. Helium, you teach me how it's done as we go to the last round.
I wanted some Yanko casting in there. But we will have Shroud getting the first kill onto Cutlers. So, arguably, things starting off even better on this round for Cloud9 than it did on round 17 previously.
Yeah, what's striking is that Stewie's actually, even though they know this is the last round, still decided to get a MAC-10. It just goes to show you how strong that weapon actually is, though, even versus head armor. Wow, whoa!
That's a scout peek there from Tarek. Nothing trying to avenge his fallen comrade there, and another one actually trying to jump up on behalf of a CLG. And that was going to be Fugly who jumped up. He'll get the kill onto Nothing. So we got, is this another 3-on-3 in round 17?
Never forget it, it's a 3v3. No matter how many times you play out this round, it'll always end up in a 3v3. But this time, it's positionally CLG. Oh, Fugly making a little bit of noise there, dropping in a scout, and he does manage to fall off, however. The lone person in B, mind you. Cloud9 also congregating towards the same site. I think they expect to see drop being forfeited. You might forfeit a drop in a 5v5. You almost certainly will in a 3v3 situation. And now Stewie moves out with the MAC-10 and gets his opening kill. Looks for a second. JDM, though, shuts it down at A.
Stewie actually only, again, finding 1 kill with his MAC-10. JDM here with the 5-7 will find Slummy. Now it's all going to be on Skadoodle with the AK 1 versus 2. He'll find JDM. Defenseless, shooting him down from the back. And that's a bomb plant. 1 versus 1. And there is a little bit of utility for Skadoodle. How can he use a Molotov in this situation? He won't. He peeks out. He hits the shot. Wow. And there it is, 16-1. It took a while for us to get there. But, yeah, the game was quick, but obviously some delays.
Congratulations to Cloud9. They had